Right, here we go. Friday night 9-ball again. And tournament's just started. Let's have a look at the bracket. Now remember, there's been an update done to the handicapping to make it a bit fairer, and it seems to be that it is working out a bit better. We've got Larry playing Shane G Money in the first round, and Shane G Money's getting the 6 and out. Popman's got a bye, Stefan's got a bye. In fact, all of those players have got a bye, so the only match that's actually going at the moment is Larry and Shane G Money. Race to 7 on the winner's side, and a race to 4 on the one-loss side. And the finals a race to 9. Now remember, this is a 2.5 hour broadcast, or there or thereabouts. The stream will have to finish at 10:30 because that's when I go to my bed. Right, so let's join in. In fact, those matches have been updated. Hang on a second. This bloody thing needs updating again. Wait a minute. There we are. So we've got the second round matches that are taking place at the moment. And Stefan is playing DJ Simon. Popman's waiting the winner of the Larry Shane G Money match. A Hero Men Kill is playing Z Karaoke, who's getting the last 2. Wink at Me is playing Andre Hagus. Now there's some quite good players in this match tonight, in the tournament tonight. Now what one will I go and watch? I think we'll go and watch this match here, A Hero Men Kill against Z Karaoke, and we'll see what's happening in there. And somebody might be just breaking off. No. Right, so we'll see that well, that seems a bit weird. We've got what, 50 points, 51 points difference in the ratings, yet player 2 is getting the last 2. I don't know whether that's working out right. Seems a bit weird. Maybe it's something to do with the match goal as well. Anyway, we'll get Z Karaoke at the table. He's already up 1 rack to 0. Nice reverse bank. Has he got lucky with the 2-ball? He certainly has. Now, let me just check my little doodle thing. Hang on a minute, if I can remember how to get it working again. I've totally forgotten how to get it working. Oh no, there it is. Right, let's try this. Yeah, that's working okay. Well, that's a bit untidy. I think he's going to have to kick at this one. He's probably going to jump it by the looks of it. So remember, Z Karaoke only needs to get whatever the last 2 balls are on the table. So the 9-ball is going to be one of them, obviously, and it can be any one of these other 3 balls that's left on the table. Well, you got the jump, hit the 6. So here's a chance for a Hero Men Kill. Now this shot here's the dangerous one, where if he tries to draw across, he could scratch the middle pocket. He's managed to avoid that, but he's gone too far into the pocket. Oh dear. Well, that's this rack over. Managed to miss the scratch in the middle pocket. Mind you, he missed the 6-ball, didn't he? I never even noticed that. I was too busy looking at the cue ball. Stream quality is green, which is good. Right, so this 8 ball for a 2-0 lead for Z Karaoke. And let's just double check where these guys are from. I think Z Karaoke's Brazil or Spain. Right, he's Brazilian, and a Hero Men Kills from the UK. So in goes the 8 ball, and we've got a 2-rack lead. Winner breaks. I need a quick drink. Now, just give me a wee sec to check something. Hang on. We're going to lose the stream for a second or two. Just a minute. Yeah, I had to get rid of that. There was a pop-up that came on the bottom of the screen as I was looking at the stream, and it was actually for an update to Firefox, which I've just ignored for the time being. Well, I've got a funny feeling that the handicapping has also got something to do with the match goal, because this is a race to 7. I've seen handicapping in other matches, other tournaments where it's been a shorter race, where the players only been getting like the 1 rack or like less money balls or whatever, or less what do you call it? Aye, less money balls. Like in a race to 5 9-ball tournament, which is like a single elimination, it definitely wouldn't give you last 2 in a race to 5 with this sort of handicap, this sort of what do you call it, ratings difference between the 2 players. So I think it is working out okay. We need to see what it's like with some other players, but there's only 50 points difference in the 2 of them. We'll give it the benefit of the doubt for the time being. Well, not a good safety by Hero Men Kills. Too heavy. The only problem that Z Karaoke's got is going to have to be really accurate to get on that 6 ball. It's only going to be potable from a certain angle. And he's missed his 5 ball anyway. Now again, if you're going to try and play safe, you've got to get them tight up against these balls, because somebody like Z Karaoke is just going to jump it. Yeah, you've noticed that again, Napnicker. Yeah, and Steve sent me a message. He sent me a message during the week with exactly the same comment about the last problem that was in the previous 9-ball tournament. He said that problem where the player with the higher rating was getting the handicap, his words to me were, it's fixed. Well, it's definitely not fixed, so it's definitely goosed. You're right enough. I'm too busy looking at the last 2 and not paying attention to the fact that it's a higher player that's getting the handicap. And I haven't seen him in the lobby for a couple of days, so maybe he's away out of town. Maybe need to have a look around. In fact, that's what I'll just do while this match is in its early stages. I'm going to nip into a couple of other rooms and see what's happening now. DJ Simon is getting the last 2, and he's 2-all with Stefan. We'll go in and have a look at that. Right, DJ Simon. Oh, look at that. That's just as bad. DJ Simon is 2040 and he's getting the last two. Yeah, definitely broken. So that's another one. Let's have a look at Wing Cap. Me, Andre Hagus is, what's he getting? Is that the 8 ball he's getting? Let's see that one. Well, you see, that's weird. Andre Hagus is, he's 122 points below Wing Cap me, and he's getting a handicap. So that one seems to be working. So, there's something not right, definitely. He's not fixed it at all. Right, we'll go back into, what the hell match was we in? We're in the C Karaoke match, right? We'll go into that one. Right, so we've got a Hero Man kill with ball in hand. This is certainly not going to be an easy rack to run. Presumably he's paying attention because he's not making any movement of the cue ball here. I think it's what is it, a 45-second timer and a 30-second extension or something along those lines, or 40-second. Now, a Hero Man kill, I didn't know that he was using a house cue, and I think he's run too far. He needs to get behind that 6 again. Z Karaoke, I think he can see the 3 to pot it. Well, provided Z Karaoke can get on this 6 ball and a good angle on the 6 ball. He's overcut it. Is he going to get lucky? A little donut. No. Now see, that here's the perfect example here again. It's difficult to control shots like that from that deep in the pocket, but he's played that not too bad. It needs to slow up. Oh well, that's another gift. So Z Karaoke is going 3-1 up. A simple 8 ball shouldn't be a problem. Let me just check the oh shit, wrong thing, hang on a minute. Right, let's try that again. I don't think he's in the lobby. No, he's not there. As I say, I haven't seen Steve in the lobby for 2 or 3 days, so he doesn't seem to be around to let him know. dead straight in the 2. Can he force something to get out in the 3? No, he can't. So once again, a hero main kill has an opportunity to get another rack in the board. And remember, he's got to pot everything to win a rack. Now, as long as he leaves an angle on the 6 and not go too straight, which he pretty much has, he's now in a bit of trouble here. He's managed to squeeze an angle. Now, just straight forward and back across and right out into the middle of the table. Now again, he's got that little awkward angle, and these just put a little bit of doubt in your mind, but he gets it. So he's taking his chance, back on the board, still trailing by 1 rack, and breaking off in rack number 6. Well, that 8 ball's going to block off any chance for Z Karaoke. He's going to have to push or kick, whatever he chooses. Well, he's managed to kick the 1 in. He's landed on the 2. He's pushed the 3 into the pocket. And having a lash at the 2. And he's going to fluke the 6. And that's the most annoying thing in the game, when somebody just bangs at a ball and then gets away with it. But he's not got it safe, so this is the 3rd time of asking. And he managed to get the last rack, didn't get the first one, he had a chance. So let's see if a hero main kill can do it again. Oh dear. Well, I'm surprised. I thought this guy had his own queue, because these house queues have got little power in them, and they've got quite a bit of deflection on them as well, which is the one reason for not using a house queue. And shots at distance are going to be more likely to prove that the deflection is going to send the ball offline. You're going to be more likely to send it to the jaw. So that might be one that's got away again, because Z Karaoke, provided he can get this 7 ball, he's going to be down on the 8. Now these shots here, if you spend more time looking at them than actually going by your initial instinct, you're more likely to miss. Yeah, I much prefer having a quick look at the angle and shots like that and going for it rather than thinking about it too long, because the more you think about it, the more likely you are you're going to send it away. So here's a cut or a bank. Well, now, this isn't a difficult cut in the 8. The problem is getting on the 9, so he's got to get the pace of this right, up and down the table. And that needs to keep running. He's looking okay. So we're tied up now. 3 racks all. Now he's got a break queue. That's weird. He's got a break queue, but he doesn't have a playing queue. We've got a dry break. We've got the 2 and the 4 tied up. So there's a bit of work to get done here. Well, the push has been passed back. There's a chance here to play the one ball up to the 2 and the 4 to open them up a wee bit and still play safe. Well, I don't know whether Z Karaoke will be thinking about that, but certainly if he pots the 1, it's no benefit to him. He's going to have no shot in the 2. And again, having a bash at it, and he's got away with it once again. Now, unless you can pot this 1 ball and make sure you can get the cue ball to a point where you at least can see the 2 ball, there's no point in potting it. So Z Karaoke has played the billiard off the 1 onto the 8. And I would just be banking this back across the 5 ball and sending that cue ball up to the top right hand corner here. Trying to use those balls for cover. He's tried to hide behind the 5 and he's played it well. Now this again is where you have to think logically here. You can have a bash at the 1. Well, luckily he hasn't opened up the 2 and the 4. Because you start banging balls around, you don't want to open up the table for your opponent. Should you give him ball in hand, you want to keep it tight. So you've got to play clever when you're playing kick shots, trying to get out a snooker. Now Z Karaoke has just had a bash, and once again he's got away with it. He's opened up the 2, the 4 ball goes past the 9, but a hero man kill's got no shot. But he's got a good safe. He might find himself behind the 7 ball in a second. Or the 3. Now we'll find out if a hero man kill has a jump cue. Or he's just going to kick it. Now the 2's tied up, so once again we're back to square 1. And Z Karaoke has used the cover, and that's tight. And there is no way that a hero main kill is going to get out of this. So now with ball in hand, Z Karaoke should be looking to play a pot here in such a way that he can split the 2 and the 9 and the 4. Now, well, he's going to be playing it with top and left English, and he's decided none of it. He's going to try and play the combo. It looks pretty good. If he doesn't hit it too hard and just gets the line of the 2 onto that 9, he'll give the 9 every chance, and in it goes. So, back into the lead by 4 racks to 3. Now Larry has come through comfortably in his first match. He's won by 7 racks to 1. And don't forget, he was given the 6 and out there to Shane G Money. I've seen Shane G Money playing, and it has to be said, he plays a lot like Wizard Cheating Capo. Free and easy, we'll say. Meanwhile, a hero man kill's got his troubles to deal with here, trailing 4 racks to 3. Got to get himself out of this hook. Now, again, it's not wise to move these balls, these the 3, the 4 and the 8. So I wouldn't bash at this 2. He's playing the jump, so he's got a jump stick and a break cue, but no playing cue. That's going to scratch, is it? No, just hanging in there. Well, he's got a bit of the running this time. Right, so a scratch. Once again, ball in hand. And it looks like Z Karaoke is going to go for the 3 fouls. So the 3 and the 4 are now tight. Let's have a look at them. But we might not get that far if a Hero Main Kill can't hit the 2. Well, he's hit the 2. Almost returned to favour there. I wonder if he'll try some sort of shot here in the 9 maybe. Yeah, he's billiarded it in again. Good shot. So now Z Karaoke has a little bit of a window. Has a 2-rack gap, leading by 5-3. So he's played a 2-9 combo in the last rack, and he's played a billiard on the 9 in this rack. And that's the difference between the 2 at the moment. And he's got a ball in the break. He's on the 3. Everything's there for the taking. This is a wee bit tighter than it looks. Played it in off the far jaw. Now he needs to slow down. I think he's okay. Well, if this cue ball takes the path it's going to take, he's going to run into that 7 ball unless he plays a big draw. He's hit the 7 and he's tightened the jaws. So now this will be a good shot, not only to pot the 6 but to get the cue ball back across for this 7 ball. He might roll this in dead weight. Well, he's not. And anyway, he's missed the 6, so here we go. Let's see if a Hero Main Kill can dig himself out of this hole. Now the golden rule, remember, he pots this 7 ball, gets up to the bottom end of the table here where the 8 ball is, but he must have an angle. He can't be leaving himself with work to do. Now he's going to scratch. Well, that's poor. That's another gift. Just a roll in the 8 here for Z Karaoke, and he's not helping his own cause here, a Hero Main Kill. You've got to err on the safety side there. If he'd left that ball at a higher angle, he would have still had to cut in the 8 ball. It would have been more difficult, but he would have cut out any risk of scratching. So, well, I don't know whether he can jump over that 9 and that 7, but that's more than likely what he's going to try. Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't feel he can do it. I don't see him putting any English on the cue ball unless he's falling asleep here. I see movement in the cue. Because you need to put a bit of English on it. Well, he's went for the up and down. He's got the hit. And he's got it safe. Oh, again, a poor shot. You've got to see the in off playing a shot like that, surely. And this is just a gift. This is Z Karaoke's chance to seal the match here. I think he's finished dead straight in the 2 there. Almost done himself. Now it's just going to be a little roll in, I think, because I think he's straight in this 3, unless he's going to try and force something. I wouldn't be doing that. Now, is he going to try and get across to the left hand side? Try and get up there. That's what he's done. Now here's the tough one. This is a Hero Man Kill's last chance. If Z Karaoke can't get on this 7 ball in a good position, well, he's going to finish low on it, so it's going into the middle. Now, if it goes into the middle, he's going to have to run the cue ball up and down the table. If he plays the right shot, which is a long one into the top corner as we look, he's running away to the jaw. Is he? Oh, he just caught it. So he needed to play that a wee bit firmer to get the cue ball up nearer the middle pocket and leave a better angle on the 8. But and it goes, and this match is over. And there's a result just come in. DJ Simon's beaten Stefan by 7 racks to 5. And Z Karaoke has just beaten a Hero Men Kills by 7 racks to 3. So we've got a few matches in, a few results. Right, let's have a look and see where we stand. So Larry's now playing Popman, and they're tied up at 1 rack all. The Stefan DJ Simon match has just finished. The one that we were watching just finished. And Wink at Me is beating Andre Hagus by 6 racks to 1. So what we're going to do is we are going to go in and see the end of this match. Andre Hagus. Yeah, this is one we double check. So player 2 is getting the 8 ball as his extra money ball. So the handicap in this looks to be working okay in this match. Now, Andre Hagus has got a lot of work to do. Now, to be 6-1 down suggests that Wink at Me's been playing pretty good, or Andre's not been taking his chances. And maybe that shot there is an example of why he's not been taking his chances. He's left himself way too high in this 6 ball. He's going to try the cut down the rail or the cross double. But you don't want to have him to be doing that to stay in the match. Well, that's a brave shot. But I think he's got it safe, believe it or not. So I think Wink at Me's going to maybe, well, he should maybe try and push this in from the top rail. I don't think, can he avoid getting the scratch? No, he's managed to play it off the jaw. Got no position in the 8 ball though. We could try the billiard onto the 9 here and try the bank at the same time, get a double bank. That's too hard, the ball's going to stay straight. So Andre Hagus has a chance. Now you either play this with right hand English to check the cue ball off the end rail and bring it back up. So you either play it with right hand English, brings the cue ball this way. He's let it run the other way and he's managed to hold the line, so he's okay. Mind you, only need the 8 ball anyway. What am I talking about? Every week without fail I keep forgetting. So Andre breaks off and no luck in the break. And that's fell nice on the 2. That'll be another good shot to get on this 3 ball. And he's hooked himself. Looks as if he's lining up the jump. And that was well played. And it'll need another good shot to get out of this top left hand corner to get on this 5 ball. It doesn't go past the 7. So he really needs to get the bottom side of this 5 to have a couple of pockets to be able to play it in. And that might actually work out not bad. The kiss off the 9 has given him a potting angle in the 5. Now he's going to hit the 7 ball. The question is whether that'll hold him good enough for the 6. Well, he's just run into it a little too heavy, and this is awkward. Now if he plays it at a good pace, he'll give it every chance of going in, and that's well played. So Wink at Me looks as if he's going to finish this match off here quite comfortably. Just a little cut in the 8. And so Wink at Me wins the match by 7 racks to 2. And Andre is going to move on into the 1 lost side. Right, now that tidies up the remaining matches. Well, tell it a lie, I'm forgetting about the Larry match. So Wink at Me's now going to play Z Karaoke. DJ Simon is waiting to play Larry. Now we can see Larry is in a bit of trouble here. Popman is getting the 7 and out, and Popman's currently leading by 3 racks to 1. So let's jump into that match and see what what Larry can do. Now you can see there's what have we got? 1961, 2061, 2000. I've lost count, but there's over 200 odd points here. A difference. And player 2 is getting 7 and out. Now Popman just needs to roll the 3 in. And the thing is, if he's brave enough, he needs to roll the 3 in to get the cue ball round about here, because that way he's leaving an angle in the 4. Now you see he's finished a bit short. Let's have a look. He's just maybe he can actually push the angle. You can actually check the ball with right hand English here with this shot and bring it back across. You can steal a wee bit of an angle there. Oh, he's managed to hold it. I didn't think he could hold it. Now this can all go wrong. The most common mistake is digging into the cue ball too much and finishing here and hooking yourself behind the 8 or the 9. And there's a big area to work with, so he's managed to avoid any mishaps there. And this is going to be simple if we can just kill the speed in this cue ball and roll the 6 in, hold for the 7. And Potman's taking his time and he's getting the job done. So he's actually having to work at it in this rack, and he's doing okay so far. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, just the weight of that ball dragged it into the pocket there. Almost overcut it. But nevertheless, Potman has got himself into a 4 racks to 1 lead. And in goes the 4 ball. Well, he's got half a shot in the 1. And well, dare I say it, we've got the potential here for a combo. It doesn't look all that bad. That's 7-9. Thing is though, is if Potman gets that far, he's going to have to get a good position. Now, how do I play these wee... That's that one. Let's see if we can get that to work. He would have to get the cue ball in that area if he was going to be able to play the 7 down into this pocket here. So the question is whether he tries and gets position in the 7, or whether he actually just gets the long side of it and plays the combo. Now he should be already thinking about that. And the most important thing here is when he gets on this 6 ball and he's got the perfect opportunity off this 5 to leave the 6 ball short, so that the cue ball is like here. That way the cue ball can go there and there to be able to get a shot in the 7. So he's played it and left himself, I think he's left himself the south side of the 6. Let's have a look. No, he's not. See, once you get behind it, it's only once you're right behind you can see the difference. So the best chance now is playing the combo. He can stun that 6 in. Well, he's playing a draw shot, trying to draw to the rail, I would think. He maybe too much juice in this. He's digging deep. Oh, he's drew in between them. That's a good shot. He's still going to have to play another good one though to get on this 8 ball. I'll tell a lie, only needs the 7. I managed to remember at that time. So fully focused on this 7 ball. We've not seen Larry play a shot yet. And Potman is actually doing the business here. And Larry's not getting a chance to make a mistake. Oh no, it's Larry that's at the table now. I'm totally bloody confused here. Am I out of sync? Who the hell broke off in this rack? And when did Potman miss? What the hell was I doing to miss it all? I'm going to leave the room and come back in. When I was working with my little doodle thing, somebody must have missed. Right, I'm leaving and come back in because I'm totally lost it here. Right. No, it's right enough. Larry's breaking off on rack number 7. I'm telling you, my brain is on shutdown mode already, and it's only 10 to 9. Too busy trying to pick out shots in that last rack there and forgetting who the hell's playing. Anyway, the correct score is Larry 2, Potman 4. Potman's just done a blunder on the 1 ball. But like Z Karaoke in the last match, he's got away with it. Got Larry Stone behind the net 5 ball. What's that angle like? Well, just I don't know whether he can avoid hitting the 4 ball. Can he just go straight through there? Needs to watch he doesn't scratch off that 4 ball if he pushes this 2 in. Oh, he's managed to nudge the 7. Not helping his cause though, because he's tying all these balls up in the rail. Well, that's a good shot. Took the risk. He's managed to nudge the 4 into pot in position. That looks a good pace. I think he can drop in behind the 6 ball here. Let's have a look. Yeah, we can just drop over to the side rail and leave that 6 into that top corner as we look, top left corner. The only problem there is it's not a good angle to get on the 7, so well, again this is dead straight. He's going to have to try and squeeze a little bit of left hand English on this, push it in. Now, well, now that 7's off the rail. If he actually just pushes this gently, he might be able to squeeze the 9 in. If he has a bang at this, he's more likely to push the 8 ball away. If he just plays it gentle, he can maybe squeeze just past the 8. And he's played it nice. That was exactly the shot he had to play. Played it perfectly. So Popman, and it's definitely Popman that's playing, is now leading by 5 racks to 2. And there's probably lots of other players, like, you know, would look at that 9 ball and just think a good bash will bound to knock it in. But you have to look at the gap that was there, and playing the gentle shot gave the ball every chance to just get scraped through the gap onto that 9. So he played it well. That shows he was thinking about what he was doing. Meanwhile, Larry's out cold here. Misses the 1 ball. And that 4 ball in the bottom left hand corner is making that a big pocket. So if Popman gets over behind the 2, which he's likely to do if he plays the right pace, the cue ball's going to go that direction. And that 2 will squeeze in there no problem while he's had a bash at it. And maybe he wasn't thinking so much this time, thinking about getting up the table to play the 2. Again, you've got to think about the simplest way of doing things rather than trying to do things complicated. And now the problem that Larry's got is that the 3's only going to go into really 1 pocket, and it's probably going to be a combo onto the 4 first of all. And he's looking to get as straight an angle as he can on it. And this has got to be gentle. Try and leave that 3 ball over the pocket. And he's played it well. So remember, Larry's the one that's going to have to pot every ball here. Now, with this shot, he's got to get not a straight angle. He's either going to come across here and play the 7 there so that the cue ball's going up that way. Well, he's now left himself pretty straight, and this is Larry got work to do, and he's got to control the pace of this shot here. He looks as if he's playing the draw to get on the 8. Well, now I don't think he can squeeze past the 9, so he's got to draw off the 8. Can he squeeze past the 9? I don't think so. He's going to have to draw hard to the rail. And he's pretty much got that okay. Controlled it well. So Larry gets one back, trailing by 5 racks to 3 and breaking off in rack number 9. A straight rack, it looks pretty good. But no joy for Larry. Needs a bit of luck here. And he's got it. He's split the 6 and 7. And he's held for the 2. And he's got a nice angle to just roll the 2 in and let the cue ball do its stuff. Cue ball into the 2 over here and out here somewhere. Preferably missing the 9 ball. To have a shot in the 3. Well, he's playing this with a bit of top and right. That's a bit weak. Yeah, that was not a good shot because he's left himself hooked on the 3 anyway. He needed a bit more force than that. And that 2 ball's tight in the rail. Not a good bank, it has to be said. Yeah. Always makes it much tougher to try and play a bank when the ball's tight in the rail. And the only saving grace for Larry there is he's tied the 4 and the 8 up. Now, Potman's actually got an angle to draw into the 4 and the 8 and still hold for the 3. I wonder if he's thinking about that. He doesn't, is he? He looks as if he's maybe going to draw. Well, he's drawn straight up to the 3, but he had a chance to draw up onto the 8 and the 4, and there's a very strong chance he would have held for the 3. You see, now he's got the split, but he's missed the 3. And again, he's left Larry in an awkward position here. Now, Larry really needs to cut this into this corner here. He needs to cut it into that pocket, because that way the cue ball's running that way and can come round and out for the 4. And he's managed to avoid the 8. He's checked it up and held it. A much more controlled shot by Larry. And once again, don't leave it straight. Get that wee angle in the 7. And he's got it. And that means you can get the cue ball well away from the rail. Now ideally he wants to be playing the 8 ball like this or playing it from here. Either way he's leaving himself an angle to get out for the 9. So he's played it the wide side. And that allows him to come across for the 9. So Larry is on the comeback trail. Just a 1 rack in it now. Now can he get a ball in the break? He needs a nice clean break. A couple of balls to go in if he's lucky enough, and he isn't going to be. Well, this could be a short rack. Is he going to maybe try and play a 2-9 combo? Has he even thought about it? It's a bit awkward though when you think about it. The angle that's sitting at. I think that is a bit ambitious thinking on my part there. And there's a result come in. Andre Hagus, who has, if you remember, get moved over to the 1 loss side. He's beaten Shane G Money by 4 racks to 1. Well, that's too strong, is it? No, he's just held up. So this setup here is the setup that is going to save Larry in this rack, because Potman at some point or other is going to have to move them if he's going to win the rack, and that might be the stumbling block in this visit. Once again, there is an angle there. Potman can bring the cue ball across the 7 and the 8, and he could still be on the 5, but he needs a nudge. But he's not done it. And it's going to be even more difficult to do it off the 6. Now that's 7. I think pots clean, but it only pots clean from here. From that angle there, I think. It'll be interesting to see what he does. Well, he's got the angle to do it. The angle's there in the 6, and he can send that cue ball up to here and out. Now somewhere about there would be perfect, because you can get the edge of that 7 without fouling the 8. No, I don't know what he's planning here. You know, when you're sitting there with that 6 ball and the opportunity to get position, then why don't you play for it? This is a nothing shot. I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, there is a possible bank on the 7. He's just going to try and play a safe. And he's going to find himself in trouble in a second. Larry's going to bury him behind this 8 ball. Well, that was not good thinking by Potman there. He had a perfect angle on the 6 ball. You've got to play the position, because if you didn't get the position perfect, you could have played the shot that Larry's just played. Well, I did say that 7 and 8 ball were going to be the main cause of the problem for Potman, but he didn't handle it very well, has to be said. But he's got the kick on the 7. but he's not left it safe. But it's not, this is going to have to be 100% here for Larry. He's going to have to play something in this cue ball here. He's not only got to cut the 7, he's got to do something with the cue ball to try and have a shot in this 8, and the 8 is tight in the rail, so this is going to be a good rack to win for Larry. It's not easy, this. But again, shots like this, Larry will go for it 110%. This is why he's taking his time. He's missed the 9. Now, as long as it keeps running, he's got a chance. Now that is tough. Well, the 8 is right on the rail. I mean, this can just bounce off the rail easily if he doesn't get this perfect. Yeah, that was never ever going to be easy. How's his luck? Well, it's not too bad, because if Potman plays the bank and he misses it, then it's not going to double bank, I don't think. Well, and then again, second thoughts, there is maybe enough gap there in that 9 ball. Now, is he playing it up and down? Looks like it. Oh, he's hung it up. Well, we'll be all square in a second or two. That was close, and the only thing that kept it out was the pace. Just hit it too hard. So Larry ties the match up. We're all square at 5 racks all, and Larry to break in rack number 11. And remember, Larry, when we joined the match, was 4 racks to 1 down. So he's managed to get himself back in it. And something has dropped into the middle pocket there on the left-hand side. What was it? The 2 ball. But again, no joy at all for Larry here. Now that 1 is a bank off the rail into this middle pocket here as we look. I don't know whether he'll go all out for it. No, he's decided to look for cover. He's hit it too hard. He's hit it too hard. And it's a clean shot in the 1. Well, there was all of those balls there for covering. And that's a bad misjudgment by Larry. Now with this shot, I know what I'd be doing. I'd be trying to get this side of the 4. But the simplest shot is to play the 4 long and leave yourself a cut in the 5. We'll see what he does. Right, he's going to scratch, is he? No. Well, that's sort of the middle of nowhere. He's going to have to pull a shot out here, Potman, if he's going to keep going in this rack. And again, he needs to just concentrate 100% on the 4 ball, because he's going to be on the 5 without doing a lot with the cue ball. He just needs to draw to the rail. It's really little, just a little soft draw shot to the rail and cut that 4 into the right hand corner. Well, he's decided to go for the bank, and he's got it. Well done. But again, he's got a cut back, so he's having to dig himself out a hole here now, and this is where once you start getting out of shape, everything else starts to get out of shape, and you're then pushing the boat out each shot you get. And is that going to cheat the pocket? Yes, it is. Now once again, he's way too high in the 6. Now you could really, he could really dig down and drag this 6 ball in. Whether he can take enough pace off the cue ball and somehow come off the end rail and up to about here and still leave a cut in the 7. Well, he's, again, I don't know, is he playing this a blast shot? No, he's tried the cut. He played it plain ball. That's why he almost scratched. But this is a great opportunity for Larry. He's going to have to force this through though. You know what happens with pace in these tables. Got to get this clean and flush. And that's a nice pace. If he just slows up enough, he's okay. Well, this should be a simple shot. Get that cue ball off the left rail over to the right rail, and then just kill the cue ball or draw back a couple inches off the 8 ball and leave that 9 into the left middle. That's the plan. Off there, over here. Pot that, get the cue ball back to about sort of there, and then pot the 9. Well, that shot, or that chance for Larry there was because Potman, I think, was in 2 minds on what to do with that 6 ball. It was an awkward angle. And even if he'd potted it, he'd left himself right in the corner. And this time Larry's got the 5 ball down. He's certainly got a shot in the 1 because he can play the 1 on to the 4 if he wants. Looks as if is he going to take this past the 2 ball? Looks like it. And that's a good shot. Perfect angle on the 2. Cue ball down to here somewhere. Oh dear. Well, Larry's taking his eye off that altogether. I mean, it was just a simple enough pot in the 3. Didn't have to do any work with the cue ball to go on the 4. It's hanging over the pocket. Now, Potman's got to punish this. And that's what he's got to be thinking himself coming to the table. And he probably didn't think he was going to get another chance. And he's just thrown it straight down the pan. Now, Larry's got ball in hand. And this looks like possibly a stun up the table here. Yeah. Has he finished straight? Oh, he's pretty much straight. He's going to have to squeeze a wee angle here just to follow through. And that's why he's now left it at distance. So he's having to move this cue ball over these next 2 shots over about 18 feet. He's going to have to come off that 7, either straight through and off the end rail and back up here. Yeah, that 9 ball was always going to be an issue, and don't tell me he's going to be done. Yes, he is. Well, stranger things happen in a game of 9 ball, I'll tell you that. And Potman, ball in hand, and just needs to sink the 7, and we're all square. It's a tied ball game. It's 6 racks all, and Potman breaking open rack number 13, and that was that was just kissing into that 9 ball. The angle that he had there, he couldn't avoid the 9, and it sent the cue ball around the table and scratched. And the 2 ball goes in, and straight away We've got the 8 ball very adjacent to that corner pocket. Now, Popman's got no shot in the 1 though. Now Larry's got to be careful here with these safety shots because he doesn't want to send any ball anywhere near that 8 ball. He needs to keep anything away from that direction because Popman will just slam it into the 8. Larry trying to tuck up behind the 9. Now Larry should be in trouble here in a minute or two if Popman gets his act together. He should be able to punch that 1 ball around the table and just kill the cue ball in behind the 3 and the 6. Well, he's went for the pot. And now he's going to have to dig a cut out in the 3 and the cue ball's running around the table. Cue ball's actually maybe going to get near that 8 ball, believe it or not. Now there's another result come in. Z Karaoke has been beaten by Wingcat Meat by 7 racks to 3. Well, he's missed a cut in the 3, but once again, Popman has got away with it. Now Larry can just see a thin edge in that 3 ball, and there's a good chance of getting the cue ball up here by the 7 and the 9 again. Well, he's playing it soft. Well, I don't like that shot because it's given Popman a shot in the 3, and the cue ball's again going to be running up towards the 4 and the 8. If he's cutting this thin enough to make the pot, the cue ball's running up towards the 4 and the 8. It doesn't look as if he's doing that, is he? No, he looks as if he's punching it up the table. Is he trying to play the bank? Oh, that's a beautiful shot. That's as clean as a whistle. Now what does he do? Well, he can squeeze the 4 past the 8. No doubt about that. And this is the important shot because if he can get on this 5 on a good shot, he could be sending Larry to the 1 loss side here in a sec. Oh dear, he's just clipped to 8. Well, Larry's finally let go. He's holding his breath there. He's still got work to do though. He's got to get out onto the 5. Again, Larry's not taking any risk by trying to play the better positional shot. He's leaving himself long distance here. Never a good idea. Now this shot needs left English if he's going to hold it. He needs left English to push the cue ball this way. And that's what he's done. And now he's looking okay. As long as he forces through and goes onto the top rail, he's leaving a nice angle to cut that 8 ball in. Well, he's not even running through. Surely to God he's not left himself straight. Oh, well, again, he's making his life bloody difficult here, haven't he? He could have spun into the middle pocket here. Oh, you are kidding me on. Now, that was just... He's stuck behind the tip. Now, why the hell he didn't run through to the... See, the simplest shot was to run through to that bottom rail. If he had finished there, he would have been cutting the 8 ball in, like that. Well, he's jumped and potted the 9, but my God, Larry, you don't half well make your life difficult. So Larry's eventually won the match 7 racks to 6. And now Larry is going to play DJ Simon. Let's have a look at the bracket. Right, so that result is just about to update in a second or two. Let's have a look and see if this refresh rate's set right. Yes, it is. We've got Z Karaoke who's now in the one loss side. We've got Winky at me waiting to play the winner of this match. So we'll now jump in and we'll watch the Larry and DJ Simon match. Somebody's still sitting asleep there in the Potman Larry match. In fact, is it Simon that's in the room? Yeah, Simon's in that other room. I'll just send him a message. He's probably fallen asleep listening to this stream. I'll need another wee drink. And he's finally, I think he's finally got out of the room. He's woke up. So here we are, Larry and DJ Simon both lagging up. Now, curiously, one of the players has shown a house cue again as their playing cue. So that was Larry. Maybe there's something wrong with the download of the cues, because Larry's got Larry's got a break cue and a jump cue and a playing cue. And I'm just curious why I wasn't seeing it there again at the beginning. Right, so we've got Larry 2,308 points in his ratings, and Simon is on 2,040. And player 2 is getting a 5 ball as his extra money ball. So here's Larry's chance to get rid of that money ball. And that wouldn't be a bad thing. And in goes the 5. So that now means that Simon's got to pot all the balls to win the rack, just the same as Larry. And that one ball had gone too far there to be cut in, which is why Larry played it safe. And that was an easy one to hit there, Simon. And these balls all lying in the open. And Larry should be looking to run out. Larry should have been looking to go higher on that too. He's now left himself, I think, dead straight in the 3 again. Well, there's a slight angle there. So he's running the cue ball around the corner, I think. Well, this should just be dead weight to the rail. Just roll the 4 in. Unless he's going to try and draw up for the 7. Yeah, he's stunned out for the 7. He's perfect on it. I think you can just roll through off the rail and out for the 8. Well, this all came about a poor attempt at a kick there by Simon, and that's just a gift for Larry. When all the balls are opened up, he's just going to, more often than not, he's going to run them out. Oh well. Again. Is he hooked right behind the 6? It looks like it. Well, if he pushes up to the top end of the table, Larry's just going to knock the 1 onto the 6. And the thing is, with this shot, Larry can push the 1 onto the 6. He's taking a bit of... You're hoping for a bit of luck here, because he could run the cue ball into that 2 and 3 as well. Well, in the end there, I think Larry played for the snooker, but it's not worked out. And he's given Simon a... Well, it has worked out. I thought he hadn't got cover there. But Simon can maybe nudge off the 6 here. Oh, he's just unlucky. We've got a right mess here going on. It's as if the table's in a slope. It's sloping to the left-hand side. All the balls are rolling to that left side of the table. Well, Larry's got the 1 in. And that 2 ball tucks nicely along the rail. And he's got to do this pocket weight and get the cue ball over at the right hand side, so he should still be on the 2 when this 4 goes in. And that's well done. Already this is looking like 2-0. Now the only thing that can go wrong here is Larry hooking himself behind the 5. He's got a big window here to get to that 3, and he's got a big window here. You don't want to be here. And he's found a gap. And again, round the angles. Round here and out. Now, this wants to finish as close to the bottom rail as he can. And he can just cut the 6 in, bring the cue ball back over to the left. Well, straight choice, draw right back and leave the 9 into the same pocket. Could actually stun out, I think, as well. Maybe there's too much angle to do that. He might even hit the 9 doing that. Well, that's what he tried. See, I thought he could stun out. He didn't actually stun it hard enough. And now he's left it awkward. And this has ended up in, again, an untidy finish to the rack. He should have probably went for the first shot and actually just drew it back. And that was the safest shot to play. And for once, Larry was in the same train of thought as what I was there, but he didn't stun it firm enough. He played it too gentle. And he's had to dig out that nice cut in the 9. But all it means is he's 2-0 up. And Andre Hagus has just beaten a Hero Men kill by 4 racks to 3. And Larry breaking off in rack number 3. And this time he's got no joy. But he's not really left an awful lot for Simon. Now this looks a bit far-fetched here. Yeah. And that's going to be a simple cut onto the 2. Now the problem here is holding for the 1 again. Now he can be really, really delicate and play this dead soft and try and hold by the 9 ball. And that's what he's trying to do. He's playing it really soft. Well, that was maybe a bit too soft. Now he's actually got an angle here he can run into the 3 and 4. and just hope for a bit of luck with the split. Oh dear. Well, got the split but missed the one. So here's Simon's chance. He's a 2040 rated player, and well, he's got to prove why he's a 2040 rated player, and this is his opportunity. Now, that shot there, Simon's chickened out, because he should have played to hold that cue ball more and would have left this much, much easier in the 5. And now he's going to have to dig a shot out here. And he's let the cue ball get away. And again, well, what am I thinking about? Only did a 5. Somebody please bloody well remind me. I keep forgetting about the handicap. I must do it about 3 or 4 times every week. I'm so engrossed in the actual lay of the table, I totally ignore the handicapping. Oh dear, I'd be no use as a referee in these games. I'd be calling foul. Oh dear. Right, so Simon has got a rack in the board. I don't know what's happening. He came up dry in the break. Larry's at the table, and it has to be said again, balls are all in the open. This is just the old join the dots routine here. Get the cue ball the south side of this 4. That's the worst thing you can do, is finish here. Now you see he's finished the north side of the 4. I think he's okay though. I think it's straight enough that he can just hold for the 5 without doing anything stupid. Right, just check the watch. We've just gone past 9:30. Just a reminder for all you kind people that are actually watching the stream. We've got an hour left before I need to go bye-byes to my bed. Well, this is a nasty little one for Larry here. He's just queuing over the 9 ball now. What does he do? Does he go for the bank because it's a good bank? Or is he going to go for the cut? Now, this could go wrong if he gets the pace right wrong here. He could end up actually finishing. He could finish down here. Well, he's played that well. Played the right pace, so he wouldn't do anything silly. So Larry's opened up the gap this time. It's now 3-1. Breaking off in rack number 5. Now, I think Simon's written in the chat, because I can't see the chat in the bottom corner properly, because I've got my little streaming timer and my live information down at the bottom left hand corner of my screen. But he's saying sorry for the handicap. Well, my advice to anybody is, you don't say sorry for the handicap at the start of a match, and you're even less likely you should have been saying sorry for the handicap when you're 3 racks to 1 down. I wouldn't be sorry for the handicap. I'd be making sure that I make use of the handicap. Well, we can all see where the danger ball is. There it's there, sitting right in the corner. And it doesn't look like Simon's going to get to it unless Larry makes an almighty cock up here. This is, well, it's going to be easy to get to the 5. Now, Larry, when he pots this 4, if he can get it straight, Larry wants to, well, he's going to be drawn back this way. He wants to get right down to the rail if he can. That way, if he pots the 5, he can run the cue ball into the 6 and 7 and open them up. Well, I'm not convinced that was a perfect shot. Well, he's still got an angle there. He could actually miss this if he gets it wrong. Oh well, he's preferring to play the delicate positional shot. He's played it well. He's going to nudge into that 7. Well, this is where it starts getting slightly awkward, you see. This isn't cut and dried. Potting the 7. Okay, you should get the 7. It's into a blind pocket. But you've got to control the pace in the cue ball. And he's okay. So Larry marches on. 4 racks to 1 up. And that 5 ball handicap's not going to be any use to Simon, because the only way it's going to be any use to Simon is if Larry makes a mistake early on in the rack. If he pots a ball like that 4 ball he's potted in the break, well, I don't know whether he'll just play the billiard onto the 2 here, because that 1 ball doesn't cut, so he's probably looking at the billiard off the 1 onto the 2. And then he just got to ride his luck to... if he plays this a reasonably soft shot, he can still hold the 1 and play it onto the 7. Well, it's actually ran straight for him. And that's perfect. He's got a nice little angle to run off the side rail and hopefully get behind that 8. And he can't pot the 3 anyway. He's got to try and nudge it. Now, if he played this with a bit of left English, you could maybe check off that left rail and hold into the 8. He's trying to just squeeze a nudge there, and he didn't get it. The idea was right. I think if he played that with a little bit of left English, it would have checked the cue ball off the rail. But never. Now, is that a legal shot? Yes, it was. So Larry's still motoring. Again, he's going to have to play a good one. Needs to get the south side of this 5 ball to the left-hand middle. And he's got it. Now, what's the angle like? Well, the angle's perfect. He's just going to nudge into the 8 ball, get it out of the way and leave himself on the 6. Now, that's a problem. He's nudged that a bit too hard, so now he's just got to draw the cue ball for position again. As far as I can recall, I think we've seen Simon play a couple of shots, but not much else. So it's now 5-1 to Larry. Hey Simon, you heard what I said. Don't apologise for the handicap. If you're going to apologise, apologise at the end of the match when you've won. But don't apologise at the beginning. I don't think the 5 ball's a good handicap for you, to be honest with you. It means that it's good from the point of view that you've got to start running balls. And you're not really getting a chance. Well, Larry's missed a kick. Now, Simon's got ball in hand. And this is all about taking your time and planning your route ahead here. And it does come down to leaving the right angles on the balls and not leaving yourself having to work. And he's dead straight in the 2 here. Now this is just a pot with a little right English, and then that brings it. Now the danger is a scratch in the middle pocket if the pace is wrong, and he's chickened out again. Now you've got to be 100% confident with your shots and play them right with the right pace. And there's just a wee bit of chickening out there. And now he's buried Larry again behind the 7, but there's still enough room there to jump that 7. I think it's a bit too close, so surely. You never know, he might get a billiard off the... Oh no, he's went for the... Maybe he went for the cut. Now... Well... You were hooked in a 5 anyway, Simon. And Larry's in with another chance here, and it all hinges on getting from the 5 to the 6 here. Oh dear, what's happened? Is he okay? I think he's okay. That almost went wrong. That's perfect pace. The only thing is though, it's dead straight again, so you can only go forward or back. And the further he goes forward, the straighter the angle he has in the 9. But he's playing the draw shot. And now he's in no man's land. He can either... Well, the cut back into the middle isn't the shot, I don't think. Well, that just touched the jaw, and that was enough to keep it out. So here's Simon's first lifeline. And again, just down to the poor positional shot. Now again, that was because Larry finished straight on the 8 ball. Dead straight in the 8 ball, you can only go forward or back. And probably the shot to play was to go forward and leave yourself the long shot in the 8. And... sorry, the long shot in the 9, rather than trying to draw for accurate position, because drawing for position when you have to get to a certain position is very difficult to judge the pace, and even the best of players struggle to get that. And so Simon has potted a couple of balls off the break. Well, he's got a slight angle in the 5. Needs to be careful with the cue ball. Now again, he's just not... Oh, I'm forgetting he only needed a 5. I've forgotten again, guys. So very quickly, we've gone to 5-3 to Larry. This time Simon's got no joy in the break. Well, I don't see any problems. The only problem really is that 6 ball, and it's again tight in the rail. So it's important that you roll the 5 in where you get a decent position with an angle in that 6 to get back up the table for the 7 ball. And this has just got to be rolled in. You'll have a natural angle off the 6. It's just about rolling it in, pocket weight. Now I like to play these with top and right English, because that way I know that the cue ball is going there, there and over here to give me the best chance of potting a 7. Larry, I don't know what the hell Larry played there, but that certainly wasn't the shot that he was thinking. No way. I think he hit that. I think he misjudged the English there. That's why he missed the 6 ball. So it's all went wrong for Larry. Now, can Simon make the potting angle on that 7? Well, I think you've got to try and just swerve it round to 8 to try and make it. Well, he's tried to kill it to the end rail and he hasn't made it. Now, can Larry avoid hitting the 9? He might even pocket the 9 here, I don't know. He's just playing it plain ball, I think. He might even just nudge off the 9 and leave a long 8. No, he's managed to avoid it. Well, here's a last-ditch chance for Simon. This is the crucial shot. It is not an easy 8 ball, and it's not easy to get back in the 9 either. Well, that's a great shot. Excellent shot. So Larry is now sitting on the hill, leading by 6 racks to 3, breaking off in rack number 10. And every rack seems to be straight tonight again. Right, well, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 balls have gone in. The 1, the 3 and the 5 have all gone. But luckily for Simon, Larry's got no shot in the 2. He's just going to play the push to the rail. Simon doesn't like it, so he's given Larry the opportunity. Now, this cue ball has got to go over here to leave him a shot in the 4. Well, Simon decided not to go for it. And he's left it up for Larry. But that didn't roll through far enough, so it's going to be another awkward cut for Larry in the 4. I'm surprised Simon didn't go for that 4 ball. Well, this match looks as if it's all over. Just a simple little roll through. Leave yourself the angle in the 7. Just get the cue ball up past the 9. And that pretty much does it. Larry can just kill the cue ball or draw it back a couple inches for comfort. He just killed it, and it's a simple enough 9 for Larry. So Larry wins the match by 7 racks to 3. Dare I say it? without him actually having played it. And Larry marches on. Simon is moving over to the one loss side. Right, so let's have a quick look at the bracket, see where we stand now. So Larry is now going to play Wink at Me. And let's see if we can move this bracket across. Simon is going to be playing Andre Hagus. Stefan is playing Z Karaoke, and Stefan's up by 1-0 at the moment. Now this is going to be an interesting match. This Wink at Me seems to be a capable enough player, and he's getting a 7 ball, so this looks like it's going to be the last match tonight that I'm going to be able to stream. And this is going to be the match for the hot seat to see who gets to the final. So we will join this match. Oh, I'm in first, nobody's here. Now let me go back out. Is Wink at Me in the lobby? Yes, he is. He's from Canada. Larry has now joined the room. 2 players are in. They should be lagging off. So Wink at Me is player 2. He's getting the 7 ball as his extra money ball. He's a 2,183 rated player, so this is going to be a tough match for Larry. And the 2 and the 8 balls going down off the break. Well, Larry's under a bit more pressure now in this match, because now that he's potted those balls off the break, he simply has to run out. He can't make a mistake, because Wink at Me's going to snaffle these balls up. But Larry's going to do his best to make sure he doesn't get a chance. Now, how's the angle in that? Well, he's a wee bit the wrong side. So here's the crucial shot. Getting to the 6 ball. This is the make or break shot in this rack. And that looks pretty good. Again, left a nice angle in the 6. That's all you need, is the nice angle. When you get that, you're home and dry. This will go wrong if you just play something dumb and finishes behind the 9 ball. He's well away from that. Well, could have been better in the 9. He's left that little angle there again. And it goes. So once again, Larry's off and running. a break and run there. We're back to square one again though. No joy this time. And Wink at Me's not get much an opportunity here either, so maybe think about a good safety than going all out for the pot. Now you see, again, I keep saying about knowing your limitations. You can be over aggressive and thinking you should be potting everything. That was a difficult shot in the one. You've got to take things into proportion here. Think about the player you're playing. Larry is no mug, and if you just give him opportunities like that to start with, he's not going to hang back. He's going to come in and run out the rack. That's not the best of angles in the three. He could have problems here. The best he's going to do is a long combo in the 7 here, but you don't need to be giving Larry free starts in any rack. And that's where it's gone wrong. So now it's backfired and it's worked in Wink at Me's favour, but what he's got to do now is get on this 5 ball and get this rack over and done with. The problems he's got though is that the 6 ball's not going anywhere, so he's going to have to do some good work here to win this. And if he leaves a nice angle here in the 5, which he's got, he's going to nudge the 6, but he hasn't a clue where it's going. He's got to ride his luck here. He's nudged the 9, which is perfect. That's an excellent shot. And that's too hard, is it? Well, that is poor. It has to be said. You've got to control your shots. And for a player that's 2,183, that is a basic error to be throwing that chance away. Well, not the best of safety shots by Larry either. And this time Wink at Me surely will run the 7 in, get the cue ball through and nicely out for this 8. And in it goes. Oh, mind you, only needed a 7 again. Oh, God. I need to go to my bed. So player 2 is getting a 7 ball. Remember that. Well, Larry could take care of the 7 ball here if he plays the 1-7 combo. And that's a good shot, because that now takes away that money ball. And they're both playing scratch now in this rack. Now that window's there for the 2 ball. And Larry's overdone it. He's going to nudge in behind a 3. Not a good shot. Too much pace. What is ideally he should have been looking to finish. Somewhere there would have been where he'd been looking to finish with that shot. He hit it too hard though. So Wink at Me, ball in hand. Was it ball in hand? I'm losing track. And this is a little bit fiddly. Well, this is an uncomfortable shot to be playing. I don't like these. The danger's always if you go forward. Yeah, you're forcing it through an awful lot. Now he's done the basic error with that shot. He's finished in the rail, and there's no way you're cutting that in. But he's missed a 6 anyway. But the danger's always overhitting it. You have to finish here or here, and you're always dangerously going to overhit it when you're playing those shots at distance. Well, I don't know what Larry tried there. I presume he was going to leave the bank because he never made any attempt to get down in the 8. Well, this looks a good bank for Wink at Me because that 8 ball is pretty much on that middle diamond there on the bottom rail. So it's a good single or double bank. Got to run the cue ball though, remember. He's got to miss it, and that's done him. The cue ball was heading down towards the 9, but the double kiss there in the 8 has ruined the double bank. Now this looks like either a safety or the reverse double bank by Larry. Well, he's got it clean. The cue ball needs to spin, but he didn't get the spin. Well, I think he's going to go for it again. It's a good bank. And it could be a double bank or a clean bank. Doesn't matter how they go in as long as it goes in. This time he's misjudged it. But it's fallen into that no man's land area. Oh, this is nasty. Now I think the cue ball is going to hit the jaw. I don't think he's going to scratch. Well, he's played the cut. And that was dangerous either way, but he's got away with it. So Wink at Me has got himself into the lead. 5 balls going in the top left. But he's got no shot at all. All he's got is a push out. Yeah. Well, I think he'll be put back in a second or two. Yep, Larry doesn't like that. That's a good shot. Now if he gets the distance between that 2 ball, well, there's nowhere Larry's jumping it, but it's an easy kick. In fact, he doesn't even need to kick it, he just gets a thin edge. And he's going to send that cue ball down here and try and get it up here. As long as he doesn't scratch, he should have the cover, and that was a good shot. And this isn't a difficult kick either. Caught the edge of the 1, but no luck this time. Open table. The problem ball's the 4. Larry should already have looked at the 4. Again, I don't know about the position in the 4. It looks a bit too close to that 9 ball. to actually make the potting angle in the 4. Well, he's trying to get as far over to the left as he can. Now, can he make that potting angle? Now from this side it looks as if he can. It's going to be close to a foul, though it needs to be careful. Oh, he's got it. I think that's a legal shot. Yep. And Stefan has beaten Z Karaoke in the 1 loss side by 4 racks to 2. Larry trying to get himself back in level terms in this match. This is the hot seat match to see who gets to tonight's final. Oh dear. Well, we've seen it week after week with these long draw shots where the balls are jamming up in the pockets. And that's one that's got away for Larry there. But Wink at Me's going to have to pull a good shot out here. This is difficult. That was well done. So, that's one that's gone against the head there. Wink at Me pinches that one. And he's now opened up a 2 rack gap. I think he's come up dry. And Larry again has no shot in the 1 ball. Well, I don't like that shot, Larry. I'll tell you why. Because there's enough covering balls there to play a good safety here. If Wink at Me can send that 1 ball up the table, he can bring the cue ball back across here behind the 3, the 5, the 6 and the 9. Well, he's decided to go for some wild bank. Now, he's got away with it, but in all honesty, that wasn't the shot to play there. There was good covering balls there to hide behind. And same again here. I mean, he's going to be enticed into taking the bank when he can actually stun up the table. Well, he's actually thought twice this time and played the right shot. Now, okay, he hasn't got the full ball snooker, but he's got the distance there. And Larry's got that thin enough. The same again for Wink at Me. He needs to get this very thin in the right hand side, nudge it towards the 2 and go round the angles and get the cue ball up between the 8 and the 5. Well, he's going to miss that. Well, that's actually worked out in his favour. That's perfect. Now this is not as easy to hit. I mean, it's a one rail or a 2 rail hit. You can actually hit in behind the 1 ball here. Well, he's hit the 2. So here's Wink at Me's chance. Ball in hand. All the balls in the open. Now this, again, I have to say, a 2,183 rated player has got to run out here. And this is the first problem he's going to have, is getting onto the 3. And there's a narrow window to get onto it, either between the 6 and the 9 or between the 9 and the rail. And, well, somebody can tell me how he played that shot and what he was playing, because I haven't a clue what he was doing. And that is not a good attempt at running out there. What he tried to do with that 3 ball and getting onto the 3, I don't know. He's got away with it. Again, Larry's got an easy kick here. If he just kicks it not too hard, well, he's hit it half ball and he's scratched. So here's Wink at Me's second chance. Now let's see if he makes a better attempt at this. Now he needs to come between the 7 and the 8 ball here, back over for the 5, and he's going to get dangerously close to the scratch. Well, this is going to be at distance, because you can only go forward and down at the bottom end. Nice angle to drop in behind the 7 now. And with that nice angle, you should get the cue ball up by the 9 ball. Oh dear. Well, it's all going wrong for Wink at Me. That's a bad mistake. And when you're 3-1 up, you don't want to be doing that against Larry. That's meat and drink for Larry, that. So Larry reduces the deficit. He's still trailing by 1 rack. Now I think Wink at Me, well, maybe he's just a little bit nervous, realising that he's playing a champion level player, but somebody with a lot of experience at the game. And maybe he's just showing a wee bit of sign of nerves. And Larry's got the 5 and the 8 ball off the break. Now you would have to say the crucial one is getting onto the 3 here. And he's got a little bit higher angle than he would like, but he's still going to make sure he gets on the 4. Well, he's got away with that one, Larry. That 9 ball's done him a big favour. That's held him a nice line on this 6 ball to just draw over to the 7. He could even just stun over behind the 7, bottom side of it here is weird looking. Well, he's drawn behind it. And also got the perfect angle on the 7. Now, he should have rolled through a wee bit more there. He's left this awkward. He didn't want to finish there, believe me. That's not where you want to be playing the 9 ball from. But in it goes. And he's now tied the match up. And this will be my last match of tonight, folks. It's getting near that time. I've got about 15 minutes till bedtime, which hopefully will be there or thereabouts by the end of this match. That's a foul. So, Wink at Me. This is the time to show your mettle. I'll say that again. Show your mettle. Oh, no, again, a poor shot. Not where he wanted to be. Right in the middle of now, when you've got that sort of opportunity, ball in hand, you've got to make a better stab at it than putting yourself right in a hole straight from the off. You don't have to be trying to dig yourself out of holes like that each time. Now here's the one that will go wrong. He'll hook himself behind the 9 or the 8 here if anything's going to happen. So you're better to err on the safety side and get right down onto the bottom rail. Needs to bounce an inch or so. That's okay. Well, no heroics here. You just roll the 7 ball in and you've won the rack. So back into the lead. I have to say that the opportunities that Winketme's had so far, he's looked certainly nervous. And doing his best to mess himself up. So he's got the 4 ball in the break, having to play the jump to hit the 1 ball. He's hit the 1, and likewise with Larry, I think he's going to be jumping this. Or can he see enough of it? No, he can't. He's going to be jumping to cut that in. Now there's a strong chance he'll still have a shot in the 2 here. Or is that the 2 or the 4? No, he got it far too thin. Now don't stun over behind the 9, whatever you do. Finish the top side of it. However, he's awkward. He's over the 9. Managed to draw out. Good shot. Well, here's the tester. Get yourself down onto the 7. Is he going to leave it long? If he leaves it long, he's got more work to do to get on the 8, and he's left it long. And that just tells me that he's not confident enough to be playing the right positional shot. The right positional shot was to get right down the table, and he's having to leave himself in silly positions here, and that's the wrong approach. Well, tell a lie, he's in the bloody handicap ball again. Oh dear. Oh, he's scratched. Thank God I'm going to my bed after this. I tell you, I just get myself so engrossed in the lay of the balls and just totally ignore all of the bloody handicaps information that's on the screen. Well, they're a bad one by Larry. And somehow Winketme's got a 5-3 lead here, and he's been given a gift opportunity to make it 6. There's plenty of room past the 8 ball, so there's no problem there. Well, stunning right behind it, the 7 ball is the simplest shot. And leaving it down to this bottom corner as we look, and he's, well, he's actually stunned it, but he's rolled through a bit further than you would like. This is not cut and dried, this 7 ball. Yeah, he's overcut it and he's scratched as well. Well, here we go. And wink at me. A gift, ball in hand, 7 ball. And he's now sitting on the hill and something's gone in. I heard something drop. Don't know what it was though. It was the 6 ball. Well, Larry can try the reverse bank here. It's a bit tight though, I don't like it. I tried to cut that for some reason, the cut was never on. A chance of a good safety here. Thin off that right hand side of the 1 as we look. The cue ball back up the table, and as long as he misses a 7, well, would you believe it, he's found a gap. And that 7 ball was the only thing that could cause problems there. Oh dear, no, Larry, what you doing, Larry? Because he was nowhere on the 2 ball. Now, does the 2 ball go past the 4? Yes, it does. And this match might be over if Wink at Me can hold his nerve here and actually get to the 7 ball one way or another. And that's not very good. But again, the 4 ball goes past the 8. He's playing it long. Well, the shot here, a little bit of left hand side off the side rail, the top rail as we look, and over to the left hand side of the 7. And as long as it runs, he's got that chance, but he's left it short. A nasty little cut. But this for the match. And in it goes. And so Larry is moving over to the 1 lost side, and Wink at Me is sitting in tonight's final. And he beats Larry by 7 racks to 3. So we'll have a quick look at the bracket, folks. And once this updates, we'll see Wink at Me in the bracket there. And meanwhile, over on this side, Larry will move over to the loser side final, which is done. And he's waiting on the winner of Andre Hagus and Stefan. And Andre Hagus is 3 racks to 1 up. Stefan getting the 8 ball as his money ball. And meanwhile, Wink at Me will wait there in tonight's final. Well, folks, thanks to all those that's watching, but I'm afraid it is my bedtime, so we'll have to pull the plug on it. And we will bid you good night, and we'll see you again sometime.